Why not fight with people? Wronging others is a disaster, forgiving people is a blessing, confronting with people with no Tao in their heart, the result is self-harm. Those who fight people will be fought by people in the end, those who play people will be played by people in the end, those who kill people will be killed by people in the end, those who harm people will be harmed by people in the end, those who scold people will be scolded by people in the end. Gain is loss, loss is gain. An iron law in the universe is, there is cause and effect, there is fruit and cause, there is loss and gain, there is gain and loss. You don't need to fight with people, just let others bully you, just like Jesus said, if someone slaps you on the right cheek, turn the other cheek to him too. Ignorant people are confused people, worldly people are scheming people, mortals are smart people, sages are wise people. Most of those who fight people are worldly people, and the final outcome of worldly people is very sad. It is not necessary to argue with them about merits and demerits, gains and losses. In addition, those who fight people have restless hearts, and it is difficult for them to perceive the Tao without a calm heart. If you do not retaliate after being harmed, there will be no worries. Without worries, one can be calm, calmness brings peace, balance, and clarity. One can perceive the Tao, pursue the Tao, attain the Tao, attaining the Tao can become a celestial, can enjoy eternity, why fight with people? The retribution of cause and effect is precise to the smallest detail. Do not fight with people, just follow the Tao, leave the rest to the Tao to manage. The Tao is very fair and will not wrong people. 21. Do not show ability. Ability refers to talent, intelligence, capability, brilliance, energy, function. The more ability a person has, the higher their value. Ability is like a colorful gem, it must be hidden and not shown off. You should let the world see that you are no different from others. Even if you have the talent of strategizing and gaining a decisive victory 1,000 miles away and an ability to rule the country, you should also look at the world with cold eyes. Once your abilities are revealed, you will become a slave to your own abilities, and you will be enslaved by relatives, others, and society. You will lose control over yourself, and you will have no leisure time to cultivate and improve yourself. Of course, this is not to say that you should not use your ability or ignore your relatives and friends. If you want to help people, it is best to do it in a way that people can't see or touch, mobilize the energy of the negative universe, make their work smooth, make their family harmonious and happy, make their life safe. Helping people, and not letting people know, is the way to cultivate one's virtue. It is particularly important to emphasize that during your cultivation, self-improvement, perceiving Tao, and attainment of the Tao, your body is undergoing changes, especially as your mind power becomes stronger and stronger, purer and purer, closer and closer to one, like a piece of ordinary iron. Through continuous magnetization, the molecules inside are constantly arranged in one direction, gradually generating attraction and repulsion. At this time it is not a piece of ordinary iron, but a magnet. Similarly, during your cultivation, there will be some special functions that you can't imagine happening on your body, such as walking on the water surface, riding the clouds and mist, passing through the wall, moving things with your mind, which are all child's play. Invisibility, earth escape, transformation is not difficult. You hold an iron rod in your hand, let it bend, it will bend, let it straight, it will straight. You see a person, let him go, he will go, let him stop, he will stop, let him do what, he will do what. You really understand what is called. Do whatever you want. Once you start to develop certain abilities, you must constantly remind yourself that you have a long journey ahead before you can transform into a celestial being. If you let your worldly desires take over and show off your abilities to the world at this point, you will deeply regret it. Many people fail at this stage in the process of becoming a celestial being. As for the reason, it is a secret of heaven that I cannot reveal. Because once revealed, it would be like leading a wolf into a flock of sheep, causing disaster to both humans and the celestial world. The higher the ability, the greater the destructive power. Here, I want to emphasize once again that we should not cure diseases for others. As your abilities grow stronger, you will find it effortless to cure diseases, be it fractures, cancer, leukemia, or AIDS, even easier than a breath, and you could even resurrect the recently deceased. So why can't we cure diseases for others? Because all diseases, whether inherited, acquired, caused by accidents, or infectious, are self-inflicted. This is an order in what seems to be chaos, accident, coincidence, misfortune, and ill fate. You reap what you sow, and there is a reason behind every event in the world. The retribution of cause and effect is an iron law in the universe. There is a cause for every effect, and an effect for every cause. The bigger the cause, the bigger the effect, the smaller the cause, the smaller the effect. There is no effect without a cause, and no cause without an effect. Everything is inevitable, there is absolutely no accident. What we call an accident is the understanding we get when we can't find the cause behind it, which is a mistaken and helpless understanding. Everything in the universe is orderly, and order is inevitability. So where is the cause of the disease? Hereditary diseases, congenital diseases, are caused by our ancestors. The ancestors. 22. Pay attention to the micro, weak, and small. The micro world is larger, more complex, and stronger than the macro world. It's hard to understand the Tao without noticing the subtle. The concept of constant dripping wears away a stone sawing through wood with a rope are macroscopic, while the micro things and influences are invisible and intangible. A towering tree starts from a tiny sprout, a skyscraper starts from a pile of earth, profound morality comes from every word and deed, every smile and movement, disasters and blessings start from a thought in the heart. So don't seek the big, just seek the small, don't seek the obvious, just seek the subtle, don't seek the strong, just seek the weak, don't seek the hard, just seek the soft. 23. Do your best. To cultivate to become a celestial, one must first cultivate to be a human. Human cultivation requires doing one's best. Doing one's best is for being free from cares and worries, and being free from cares and worries leads to becoming a celestial. The primary duty of doing one's best is to respect one's parents. It's hard to become a person without filial piety. You grew up sucking your parents' milk, and your parents poured all their heart and blood into your growth process. They were frightened for you and spent countless sleepless nights for you. The selflessness of human beings is most perfectly and vividly embodied in the way parents treat their children. Whether you want to cultivate to become a celestial to unite with Tao, to become a monk to cultivate to become a Buddha, to serve the country, or to make a career, whether you throw your head and shed blood for your children, or travel north and south for love and friendship, whether you stride in palaces and courtyards, or are stranded at the ends of the earth, you should first put your parents in your heart. Even if you have 1,000 reasons and 10,000 excuses, it's hard to avoid the blame and escape the sin of unfilial piety. Doing your best is not about quantity or quality, but about exerting your utmost effort. When your parents are alive, you should do your utmost to fulfill your filial duties. After your parents pass away, there should be no guilt or regret in your heart, and you can be free of worries, having fulfilled your obligations towards your parents. Respecting your parents is for the sake of upholding the Tao, regardless of your parents' attitude towards you, how much they love you, your economic situation, or the physical distance between you and your parents. The next priority is to raise your children. Children are an extension of yourself, and about 20% of a child's destiny is in the hands of their parents. Whether you planned well, hoped for, or were mindless and casual, once a child is born, you must take full responsibility until the child reaches the age of 18. If a son is not taught, it is the father's fault. If a daughter is not taught, it is the mother's laziness. You must give up your own leisure and entertainment time, the pursuit of fame and profit, and pour your heart and blood into the upbringing, training, and education of your children. Only in this way can you fulfill your obligations towards your children. The third duty is to do your best towards your spouse, siblings, relatives and friends, neighbors and society, plants and insects, birds and beasts, and livestock, so as to have no regrets in your heart. The fourth duty is to do your best for yourself. Before becoming you are after all a mortal with many desires. If you can recognize the harm of desire, it can be self-transformed. If you fail to recognize its harm and forcibly restrain it, it will backfire. For example, when your sexual desire is strong and you cannot calm down to practice cultivation, you might seek a prostitute to calm your body and mind. If you see others gambling and feel an itch in your heart, then go and gamble in a game and experience the feelings of self-blame, self-hate, and guilt when losing. If you find drinking interesting, then get drunk once until you vomit. If you find others playing mahjong interesting, then play it once all night until your face turns green, your muscles shake, and your whole body feels numb. If you feel that swearing is satisfying, then go ahead and swear once, regardless of the consequences, until people think you are vulgar and unbearable, and look at you with contempt. If you've heard that cockroach meat is delicious, then have a feast until you feel nauseous and want to vomit. Desire is very tempting before it is realized. Only after satisfaction will you find it tasteless, not valuable, not worth bothering about, wasting time, and wasting money. Only when you have done your best for yourself and feel that there is nothing to regret, can you be free from cares and worries, and finally reach the state of no self. Otherwise, with a self in your heart, you cannot enter high-level cultivation. While doing your best, you should learn to gradually give up. Analyze what factors consume your heart, life, harm your health, waste your time, waste your money, bind your freedom, and affect your development. Discard what is worthless, meaningless affairs, people, things, etiquette, traditions, habits, environments, bit by bit, gradually reduce. Affairs, like some meetings, people, like those complaining about the sky and people, love to complain, friends that love to talk about right and wrong, things, like non-practical decorations, etiquette, like birthday gifts, traditions, like celebrating holidays, habits, like smoking, environments, like too much noise, too much right and wrong, places where you don't like to live and work, etc., etc. Finally, you can reach the state of physical and mental freedom, unrestrained, despise the world, and yearn for the fairyland.